Ralph Breaks the Internet, aka Wreck-It Ralph 2, is an odd, average movie. The Phil Johnston and Rich Moore directed film is peculiar in how it's both okay, yet kind of worth a trip to the theater if going with your kids, as long as you're okay with interrupting your child's 12-hour gaming session of Fortnite so you can yell at them about how many hours they spend staring at video game cartoon characters on a screen so that you can take them to a movie theater and stare at cartoon video game characters on a screen as a family, just like God intended. The reason for my kinda sort of recommendation is due to how Wreck-It Ralph 2 contains a good message that more children need to learn in this day and age of online connectivity, to the point that it's the film's only redeeming merit. In fact, we can see these commendable themes in Wreck-It Ralph's most basic tenets of the story. The plot follows Ralph, played by John C. Reilly, who is a video game baddie from the fictional Fix-It Felix video game. And the film also follows his best friend Vanellope, played by Silver Silverman, who was a racer in the Sugar Rush racing game. Due to circumstances of plot, the Sugar Rush game breaks, which induces an existential crisis in Vanellope, where she doesn't know what she is going to do for work or where she's going to live. And to fix this problem, Ralph and Vanellope go to the internet so they can find the part they need to fix the game. Wreck-It Ralph 2's best attribute is its thematic messaging. The film is about how many people need to change in order to grow as people, and how other people around them, aka their best friends, struggle with adapting to this change. In this regard, Wreck-It Ralph 2 builds off its predecessor's story about how one's occupation doesn't have to define them. First film was very much about how Ralph felt disrespected as a person just because he was created to be a big buff video game villain. This is similar to how fast food workers get a lot of shit for being fast food workers, despite the fact that they have a tough job dealing with angry people who are too lazy to make their own meal and need to have food shoved down their gullets while ensuring that there are no pickles, otherwise there will be hell to pay, and they'll hold up the line complaining and cursing at you and cause a riot, and the Burger Riot police will have to come in and beat the Grimace with batons to maintain law and order, even though the Hamburglar's thieving ass was the one thieving the nasty ass patties. There will be hysteria. The McDrone will have to airdrop chicken McNuggets to kids stuck in line so that they don't throw a tantrum that will trigger a turf war between Wendy and her burger stalker that will forever reshape the fast food geopolitical system. What I'm trying to say is that people shouldn't be judged for their work, and Wreck-It Ralph agrees. In Wreck-It Ralph 2, however, Ralph is now happy with both his work and his home life, where he has achieved the work-home balance that allows people to live successful lives. However, his best friend Vanellope is about to throw a wrench into things because she is unhappy, which is a crisis that causes Ralph to feel insecure on his own, all while Vanellope feels afraid of upsetting her best friend just by virtue of wanting change. As I said, this is a good message for kids, and even for adults who have best friends that are far away now. Unfortunately, I wish that the rest of Wreck-It Ralph 2 was up to snuff. In terms of being a piece of pop cultural entertainment, the film is not too interesting. While the characters are likable enough, the movie's pop culture commentary is uninteresting and overall lacking in creativity. For the most part, the comedy isn't really much comedy. It's not very funny. There aren't really many jokes. Wreck-It Ralph 2 unfortunately believes that just saying Google or Twitter exists is funny enough, but that's not a joke. That's just referencing something that exists in the real world, which I already do that on the real internet in a point-and-click adventure called a web browser. The only thing that the film attempts to really make a joke about is how people love to tweet pictures of animals on Twitter, which is bullshit because what people really love to send on Twitter is pictures of their dicks. Admittedly, yes, there are a few moments in Wreck-It Ralph 2 that land. The main duo of Ralph and Vanellope are likable enough. The Slaughter Race game, which features Gal Gadot as Shank, is pretty entertaining and offers some of the best comedy, and even the wink wink nudge nudge self-criticism of the Disney Corporation during that whole princess scene that they keep advertising the fuck out of can induce a few laughs, even though there are some eye-rolling lines at times. With that said, the movie is slightly below average in terms of entertainment value, but is worth taking your kids to if they want to see it, because the message overall is pretty good and has merit. Overall, Ralph Breaks Your Internet, not a good movie, but if you have to go see it, it won't break your sanity.